Alejandro Garnacho, welcome to Chelsea. Alejandro Garnacho, welcome to Chelsea on a £40 million fixed fee from Man U plus another 10% of add-ons. He arrived at Chelsea. Uh, the deal should be concluded. It's a done deal, obviously pending the usual medicals and so on and so forth, which I believe is scheduled for tomorrow, being Friday. And so, welcome to Chelsea. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be very honest. Just like a lot of fans, Garnacho, you know, isn't quite my number one target, right? That given the players that we've been linked with, and are still being linked with, he's not quite, number one on my list. But that not with, standing, I can see the logic behind this deal. I can see the the viability of this deal, the rationale of this deal, and how Ganacho can actually help Chelsea and Maresca to achieve our objectives. This is a player, right, for better or for worse, regardless of how you or I or anybody feels about him. And again, for me, life, like we all make mistakes in life. There are no perfect characters. So for me, it's all about a clean slate deal, but not with standing the character complaints and so on and so forth. The baggage, the quote unquote baggage that Garnacho brings along with him. Again, we all have to give him a clean slate. He's a Chelsea player right now, and in addition to that quote unquote baggage, he also brings a lot of positives, and that's why Chelsea has been really pushing for this player, not just this summer, but as early as January this season. Right? We actually tried to get him in January. I believe at that point in time, a fee was quoted somewhere in the region of £60 million, and Chelsea was actively pushing to get this player in January. So when you look at it from that point of view, right, right, it's only been 6 or 7 months ago, and his fee has dropped from 60 million down to 40 million. That's a good deal, financially. On the financial end is a good deal for Chelsea FC. Then in terms of on field, right? That's the off field consideration that we just talked about. In terms of the on field, consideration, this is a player that has been right. He's been consistent for the last 2 seasons. He's been consistent in terms of goals and assists. Last season, he had 21 goals and assists. I believe he had 11 goals and 10 assists from 56 or 58 games. And then the previous season, he had 22 goals. I believe he also had 20. He had 15 goals and assists, 6 goals and 9 assists in the Premier League. That's 15 GNA, and then in Europe he had another 3 goals and 7 assists. And that's so that's about 22 goals and assists in total. So at least on the last two seasons, the previous 2 seasons, he has been averaging roughly just slightly above 20 GNA. I mean, I don't care. We don't even have wingers. Let's just be honest. Garnacho this, Garnacho that, Twitter this, Twitter that. The reality is when you're talking about productivity, we don't have wingers. None of our wingers, like literally none from last season, is as has been as productive as Garnacho. And this is a player that was actually having issues with his manager last season. So that tells you that the upside, right? You don't have to be a analyst to understand that his upside is fairly high. His upside is fairly high, and so the other thing that he brings to the table for Chelsea FC is again left wing. He's a wide player. He likes to start from wide areas of the pitch, and that's how Maresca likes them. And the only left winger that we have as of right now on our squad is Gittins. Jamie Gittins is the only left winger that we have, and so. And you guys have already seen him in the first two games. I mean, right? He's 20 years old now. Garnacho is it's not like he's much older. He's 21. He's just 1 year older than Gittins. But the positive or the benefit of Garnacho over Jamie is the fact that Garnacho is Premier League proven, right? Like he's like, he grew up, in Man U's academy. So this is a player that understands England, grew up in England, played in England, and has been delivering in the Premier League. So there's not going to be, whereas with Jamie, we kind of have to give him grace and give him time to find his feet in the league, the pace, the physicality, and so on and so forth. With Garnacho, this is a player that we expect to hit the ground running, just like Joao Pedro and even Delap as well. So the way that I see it is it's a win-win deal for Chelsea, right? If we put our little emotions aside and whatnot, I know everybody wants Xavi Simons, and that still remains to be seen. Whether are we going to be able to get Xavi Simons? Are we not getting Xavi Simons? Is it going to be Fermin Lopez, or is it going to be neither Simmons or Lopez and just only Garnacho? That all that remains to be seen. But as of right now, a bird in hand is always better than two in the bush, right? A bird in hand is always better than two in the bush, and our bird in hand right now is Alejandro Garnacho, and this is a player that the club has been trying to get, and I believe that Maresca has great ideas on how to infuse him into our attack and help us to basically pry open all these low blocks that we're going to be seeing week in, week out, and that's why we actually need him. And so for me, this is a win-win deal. Welcome to London. I'm happy that Garnacho is here, and I hope and pray that everything works out well for us. How do you guys feel? Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. God bless you guys. Peace.